Hi, this is Miranda from My Scrappy Life and welcome back to my channel. This is another process video for Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file where I am going to use this cut file which is called the Dragon. Now, I did do a little bit off camera. I started to glue some of this down because I glued almost all of this except for this little bit that you see here. With it, just because it is a lot to glue down and it's pretty much the same thing. I have quite a bit of tutorials already using my Cricut on how I back this completely with a white piece so that all I have to do is glue this part down and then it's already backed with the color because I used color pattern paper. And I'll link my cut file for the Cricut in the description down below along with this cut file. And this cut file is called Dragon. And what I do is that I get out the Head in the Clouds collection from Chamel. And what I decided to do is pretty, I would say an all-themed layout. In the end, this ends up with a lot of dragons on it. And it is of my photo of my daughter and my husband going to Kaylin's very first butterfly ball dance with Dad. And Josh never smiles, and let me tell you, this photo, both of them don't smile, and it is the most absolutely gorgeous file or picture you've ever seen of these two. I just love the stillness and the seriousness of this layout of this photograph, and then this layout just adds just that much more to it. So what I am doing here, I kept the stars to this cut file and I'm placing the stars back on it. And some of it does get cut off and I don't mind. I wanted these put on just in case if they were going to stay on the paper. And so I'm lining this up so that the lines look correct. Because the paper that I cut this dragon out of is the mermaid paper that's got the mermaid fish style to it. And let me tell you, it is absolutely the best paper and I went with my gut on this. I absolutely love that this is such a white background. The focal point ends up being both this cut file and my photograph, and it just I'm glad I went with it because at first I was a little hesitant on it. I was like, man, is this really going to work? And I'm like, yes, it's going to work. So here I am. You'll see me start to play around with it. And you'll see at first I thought I have the dragon kind of hugging this. And I do keep it as a hug. I will tell you that for sure. And I'm just cutting these out and I'm going to like crease these a little bit. And the reason why I do that is it makes it a little bit easier to place these in different spots. And then essentially it becomes a big fat piece of paper. And I just layer it down and I don't add anything more to this particular file. So here I am. You'll see me start to place these all in different directions. And I get them down. And I love the way it is because I like the crinkle in there. And you don't see the crinkle once I get it on there, but you do on the edges. Like when you get close to the, what do I want to see? The layout itself, and you look at it in real life, you will see that it does. And so I drew this out and I decided instead of hugging that top part, I leave it down below. And I just have the dragon like cradling this particular photo because my title is going to be My Dragon, and it matches my daughter and my husband's personality in this photo and my husband's facial expressions and everything else to this particular cut file in this photo. It just works out exactly the way I want it. So you'll start to see me place down some fun foam, and then you'll see me get out some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and I place them all over the place, and I get this so that there is a good enough dimension to it. And you'll see, and I get this stuck down off camera. I will let you know that. So I place this down and I do cut off this big old chunk, and I'm okay with it because I still I just love how this turns out. And so now I get this out, and there's a piece on here that I like and I use. Don't ask me what it is, because you'll see it in the still shots for sure. What it says underneath, it says something about magic. And so I take this sleeping dragon, and I took off a big part of the chunk of this chipboard, and I made it flat. Because this was already very dimensional the way it is, I wanted it more flat, and I add these two dragons here. So now this is dragon number 3 total, and I think I get 4 or 5 on here. I think 4 total with the big cut file. And I do place that Let It Dream right there, and I get some mushrooms down on the bottom, and I just go to town on it. I add all the flowers to the vines, and I leave that window peeking through, because I definitely love that I have this castle background with the twirling of the vines, and I add the flowers along it. It's just stunning. I love it. You have no idea how much I love this layout. While you see me, and there is dragon number 4 that I get added right there along with that camera. And make sure that you go check out the Confessions of the Paper Addict. She does upload 2 or 3 new, or every 2 weeks it's a new cut file or 2. And then she does upload once a month a big set of collections. And always go back and check out the other ones that she has already released. Because let's face it, I always have a hard time trying to figure out what I want to use for a cut file, because I absolutely love all of them. And everything will be linked down below, along with the Facebook group. Come along over there, see what we're doing there. And then also the direct link to this cut file, as well as the main shop and all of that jazz. So I'm just going through all of this. I decided not to do any journaling on this, because I could care less about the journaling. I don't want it to have any, because I will do the rest of her butterfly her butterfly dance anyway. I will place some journaling on some of her other stuff, but for right now, all I want this title to be is My Dragon, and that's what I call it. And I do know that in the still shots you probably won't see my title, but in the real life you do see the title. It does show up that it is My Dragon, and you'll see where I place that. It works absolutely perfect. It's just, I love this. So I hope that you're enjoying this. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. I do Cricut tutorials, which I'll link that down below as well. I just didn't do it on this one. And I do also make sure that everything looks, I always make sure that I do as many tutorials as I possibly can for the Cricut, as long as it's new. So I'll link that down below, along with like and subscribe to my channel. I do upload between 2 to 3 times a week. And yeah, so now I'm just pretty much finishing up all of the little bits here. Now this is where I go in and add as much of the flowers as I possibly could to make it more viney and whimsical, but yet still just gorgeous at the same time. So I do get out here. This is where I go and spell out My Dragon, and you'll see me kind of play around with it and figure out, oh, I'll maybe put it there. Nope, it doesn't work there. And then I do move it. Here I am, I'm sitting, and I'm like, do I like this? Do I not like this? And then I came up with this idea that I'm going to place my and the dragon, the dragon on top of its tail. And I feel like, because Kaylin is the princess and Josh is like the dragon, and it's like, I don't know, I can never explain their relationship other than if you just seen it. So here I am, I'm rounding out my splatters. You will see me with the silver mist, and the still shots are coming up, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!